The way we play and pay for our Meta VR games could be completely flipped upside down with Meta's own version of the Game Pass, and your entire Quest experience is about to be upgraded with the switch to Unreal Engine 5. Strap into your exosuit because this is your 5 minutes of VR news. First, the problem of locomotion. VR can be an incredibly freeing experience, but unless you have the space or a budget for a premium device like the Catwalk, movement within VR limits you from experiencing true immersion. But that is until now, with one of the most Ready Player One VR rigs I've ever seen, and that's the Exit Suit, a completely open source VR rig that looks incredible. This is the first design that I've seen that looks like it allows the freedom I've been looking for with full body force feedback and weight bearing. This puts anything else I've seen to shame. But this isn't a product you can buy yet, but it is something you can make. I'm sure the company plans to release their own, but for now this entire rig is open source, ready to print or manufacture yourself. Now onto a subject VR is desperate for, and that's a Game Pass. The amount of times I bought a VR game only to feel the financial regret of a subpar experience, and this happens far too often. The ability to trial games on the Meta platform has reduced this concern, but thankfully Meta is working on its own version of the Game Pass. Twitter user Shiny Quagsire recently posted a screenshot of the Meta Quest Android app. The description reads like this: a Game Pass for Meta VR headsets, codename Project Apollo, with easy access to the best of VR as long as you subscribe. Another user confirms this in the comments, and he also found a link to the Meta Quest app for iOS, so it appears this is glitching onto users' devices. If this resembles what we will be getting, I am disappointed. The best thing about Xbox Game Pass is that the only risk you take when downloading a game is quite literally the download. Quest games can be hit and miss, and I'd prefer a system where all games are included in the pass, rather than just pick two. But this is better than nothing. Keeping on the subject of leaks, it looks like the codename Eureka is popping up on the Quest app and is believed to be the name given to the Quest 3. The codename can be found on version 2.05 of the Quest app in the device selection menu. This is most probably due to development kits being rolled out. On top of this, a reverse engineer by the name of Naya VR noted that from digging into the app's firmware, there are multiple mentions of Eureka and the references to a QR code scanning abilities. This would indicate that the Quest 3 will likely use external cameras to scan a QR code to take users through the setup. Now, we all know the Quest 3 will be focusing more on augmented reality features, and while it's initially hard to picture, there are a few apps available on the side quest that take advantage of these new features via the Quest Pro. Now, looking back at the launch of the original Quest, it was initially speculated that what is essentially house mapping would be possible for the idea to turn your house into, say, a haunted house. And it looks like these type of experiences are now possible on the Pro, so expect the same experience on the Quest 3. And just imagine what's possible with this level of technology. Now onto Unreal Engine 5. Meta has been working on the transition to Unreal Engine 5, and now the work is finally complete. On the Oculus developer blog, Meta writes that Meta Quest now officially supports Unreal Engine 5.1. The name corresponding to the plugin has also been changed from Oculus VR to Meta XR. Version 55 is scheduled for May 2023, and this will bring the final patch for Unreal Engine 4. After the release of V55, VR Tech will no longer support Unreal Engine 4, but the transition to Unreal Engine 5 will be underway for the developers. The engine's most prominent features are the new geometry and lighting systems Nanite and Lumen, so expect your VR experience to look a lot better. These new editing tools allow for what essentially looks like photorealism. The details and shadows make a night and day difference in fidelity, and this is especially noticeable in VR. This won't be just applicable to PC VR though. With every new generation of engines, they become more efficient at processing data, and now that these engines are being designed with VR in mind, it only means our experiences will get better and better. For the last part of the video, here are two interesting games that have recently been released. Guardians Frontline, which essentially looks like a mashup between Starship Troopers and Halo. The game features 4-player co-op and 8-player PvP with map and level editing, so a big bang for your buck. And next is Peaky Blinders, The King's Ransom, which includes the infamous crime boss, voice acted by none other than Cillian Murphy. Explore the streets of London and Birmingham in this excellent crime VR game. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.